Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, and we are back, baby, after taking a little break at the break of the season. But we are back today to watch Bentancur and our favourite son in action, as well as Uruguay take on South Korea. It'll be an absolute cracking tie. The World Cup has already thrown up some shocks, and I will also be back watching the Brazil game a bit later on. Just to welcome a few people in. We've got Theo Isaac, good to see you. Big up Dan Davenport, great to see you, my man. We've got Anthony Gray, no injuries to our very country's international players. That's foremost on my mind firstly, then hopefully enjoy the game. Exactly, big up, my man, big up, Anthony, good to see you. Chris Agambar says, big up, guys, and everyone in the chat, big yourself up. Dark Sun G, my man, how are you keeping, brother? I hope you're keeping well. Let me know if you're excited for today's game. Says, really annoyed that Jong Woo Young or Lee Kang in aren't starting. The one player I really dislike is number 17, Na Songho, and he starts 12 goals in 28 games. I don't really know much about Na Songho, to be honest with you, Dark Sun G. It was a bit of a surprise selection, that one for me. Lee Kang-in, I don't understand why he's not playing. He's a brilliant player, my man. He's really skillful, really skillful. He can definitely unlock doors. But big up, Dark Sun G, and best of luck, and hopefully you win, my man. Tottenham Forever says, big up, Jack and Dave. Did you both get an email? And I'm guessing there won't be another fan show till the EPL comes back, by the way. Good result against Wales, Jack. No, I don't think I did get an email, to be honest with you, my man. Try sending a new email there, brother. Yeah, try sending me a new email. I'm not sure I did get the email, brother, but send me a new one. And I'll reply to it today, brother. Big yourself up. Chris Agambar, great to see you. We also have Addis Ababa, big yourself up. We've got Jerry says, come on, you Spurs International, big up, lads. Big yourself up, my man, Jerry. Good to see you. And we've got Mr. Nick says, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to Nick. Happy Thanksgiving to Jacko. Hopefully you have a great day, and all the other Americans that tune in. I'm not sure if you celebrate in Canada or in Canada. If you do, happy Thanksgiving over there too. But happy Thanksgiving to absolutely every single one of you. Big up, Lazy 8. He says, what's the crack, lads? Big up, Nico. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the family, my man. Hopefully you have a cracking day. Adrian G says, big up, lads. Immense match predictions. Do you know what? I think it's going to be a tight enough game. I'm going to go 2-1 Uruguay, and I do apologize about this, Dark Sun G. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched much of South Korea. That's why I'm here today. I want to see what you have to offer. Uruguay, for me, are my dark horses in the competition. I think they've got a good squad, strength and depth, some wily old dogs. But, you know, if South Korea can get at them, put pressure on them like we've seen Canada do, USA do, you know, Saudi Arabia at times against Argentina, there's no reason why they can't turn them over and use their fitness to their benefit, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be an absolute cracking game. Dermot, what's your score prediction, lad?
Look, I'm going to have to go against Dark Sun G again. I'm sorry. I'm going for 3-0 Uruguay. I think they're just going to be too for them. I just think Uruguay have actually come well to finish third in their group in the qualification behind Argentina. And as you, Dave, I done the World Cup as well. So I just think there might be trouble. Who knows? Who thought Japan wouldn't beat Germany? And Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. Dermot. So what do I know? So
Dermot, your internet's all over.
I know it is. It's normally.
Log out and log back in. Log out and log back in. Oh, Lord, Nick as well, my man. If you want to come on and join us, let me know. Nick, just send me a message. And then we've got Dark Sun G says 2 goals, not 12. 2. That's shocking. That's shocking. I mean, I think even Obafemi has like more than that, you know. But big up, Dark Sun G. Uruguay. Korea have a free kick here. World Cup's been a cracking World Cup so far. I have to say, I've actually really enjoyed just sitting back, watching 3-4 games back to back. It's been really nice. But Korea on the attack here, looking to get in behind. Well swept up by Uruguay. And it's just clear, but Korea have them penned back in, which is good. And then we have Stevie D, my arch nemesis. Big up, Stevie D. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're keeping well, my man. Good to see you. It should be interesting though when everybody gets back from the holidays, because Conte, I believe, has he's going to be doing some sort of conference or meeting or something like that to kind of, you know, finalize what we want to get done this January and all. So it should be very, very exciting times coming up, and we should start getting some Spurs news back out again. It's a very slow start to this game. Korea, though, dominating the early exchanges. Dark Song G, it's good to see. It's good for me to see a bit of Kim Min Jae today, my man. So it is. See what he's like. A lot of people tipping him to come to Tottenham. They reckon he's good enough. So let's test him out today and see what he's like, my man. I know you would love him at Tottenham. Good distribution from the Korea keeper out wide to pick up the ball. It's lovely play. Let's see if Dermatron is back yet. No Dermatron yet. I don't know where he's gone. Madman. Absolute madman. Everyone had a mare trying to get me Ireland season ticket today, by the way. By the time I was like 300 in queue, and by the time I got there, they were sold out. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Darwin Núñez, though, draws a free kick in a decent position here for Uruguay. It's just passed backwards. Darwin Núñez, though, causing a little bit of trouble down that side. Oh, well done. Oh, two great tackles. Who was that? Cáceres. Korea looking for the long ball to Sonny. Doesn't quite come off. Fullback bombing down the right-hand side here. Jeez, he's got some pace on him. Well defended, though, by Uruguay. Uruguay just can't get into it. Korea are absolutely pressing them. So they are. Who else have we got? We've got Lisa says, big up Dave and Dermot. I've missed you guys with no Spurs watching today from USA. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Happy Thanksgiving, Lisa. Look, we've missed it as well. I'll be honest. I just needed a bit of a mental break. Plus, you know, family, friends, the missus had to constantly say no to them for about 3.5 months straight. You know, because teams were coming in thick and fast. So I was just having a bit of downtime. But Lisa, happy Thanksgiving to you and the family. Hopefully you have a great day. Stevie D says, I know Harry Suter, he was sublime yesterday. I'd have him at the lane in a heartbeat. And Batter THFC says, big up everyone. Still happy about our victory against Argentina on Tuesday. Proud of my team. I'm just going to see where Dermot is. Just give me 1 minute. Just sent Dermot a message. I don't know what he's at. He said he'd do it, and he's not here. His internet's going crazy on him. It's a South Korea corner, though. Let's see what they can produce. Sonny wearing the mask. Looks like a superhero. Can he put in a good delivery? That's a poor delivery, but it goes all the way across. And Korea clean it up. Try to put in another cross and win a throw-in. It's a poor delivery by Sonny. Darwin Núñez gets the block in for the other cross coming in. Tottenham forever. Is that you, Ryan? If that is you, I did get your email and emailed you back, you madman. So I did.
So we'll see what falls.
It's gone out to the right-hand side. Korea with a good delivery. Oh! Good clearance from that Uruguay defender. Very good clearance. Uruguay on the counter here, though. Darwin Núñez, can he get it under control? Oh, sorry, Suarez tries to outdo. Well, good defending. No, sorry, it was Darwin Núñez. Very good defending by the Korea. Right back. Just gets back, stops Darwin Núñez in his tracks. Uruguay now with the free kick there, or with the throw in deep in Korea's half, have a chance to alleviate the pressure. Oliveira is on the throw-in. He's taking his time with it, though. Finally takes it to Darwin Núñez, back to Oliveira. Can they mount anything from this? No. Korea deal with it very, very well and just hook it clear. But a lucky bounce. It's a ball in behind for Oh, good defending. Very good defending by Diego Godin. Comes in, cuts out that ball in behind. That was poor defending in the first place to give it away. He kind of snatched at that. But then Godin comes across and cleans it up. But Korea not giving it to Uruguay all their own way by any stretch of the imagination. Sonny just getting his captain's armband re-strapped on. That mask, Jesus, I don't know how. That'd be so annoying playing with that mask on. You'd feel it sweating and everything. It'd be really, really annoying. Uruguay did with that well, though. It's a free out. You're back, Dermo.
I am. Hopefully you can hear me. I've got no camera. But there you go. I'm back. Hopefully
yeah, you're back now. You're back now.
This time.
You're back now. Steve D says Koreans are so energetic. Not sure they can keep this up. Pace is insane. Do you know what? It'll be tough to keep it up, but you know, Canada managed to keep it up. USA managed to sort of keep it up for long periods of the game. I don't see why Korea can't. Japan also. I don't see why they can't. It's a long kick out from the Uruguay goalkeeper. It's gone all the way up to Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez into Suarez. Suarez tries to flick it out wide. It's gone out for a throw into South Korea. They started this one really, really well, Darmo. Are you there, lad?
Yeah, huh? Yeah. I am. I'm here. I'm sorry. It's just I am. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What are you up to, man?
Oh, Lord Jesus Christ. I'm trying to sort everything out. I'm now sorted. So I'm now got the game on. I'm up to speed. I've got my stats
ready
attention now. So I've had to change to the laptop. The PC's gone out the window.
Korea's had 57% possession.
Oh, Lord.
That's insane compared to Uruguay's 23%. They're absolutely all over them in this opening 11 minutes.
Yeah, it is fucking gas. Look, South Korea are a good side. You know, they've gone through the qualification very impressively. Uruguay are hit and miss. One day they can sing in this World Cup. Big sides losing, Japan beating Germany. You know, Saudi Arabia beating Argentina. You know, this World Cup is going to be so unpredictable. But I think Uruguay just be a bit strong for them today. But I'm looking forward to it. It's been a good start to the game, Dave, I have to say.
Yeah, it has. That should be a free kick on Sonny. He's just been absolutely barged off the ball. That's a joke of a call. Absolute joke of a call. I don't know how that's not a free kick. I've been impressed with the start Korea made, though. It's all energy. Like, you know, they're not giving Uruguay a chance to settle on the ball.
No.
Although Uruguay looking to come forward, steaming forward.
It was the same with
Darwin Núñez. Oh. Dermo, I think you're lagging behind me, man.
I am. My internet is shocking. We've had bad storms down here in Wexford, so we've got internet lines all over the place. So
right.
I might be lagging a little bit.
Darwin Núñez nearly on the end of that. Kim Min-jae on the ball. Back to Kim Min-jae. Korea are looking tidy here. Just building up some possession here from the back. It's good pass into midfield. It's gone out wide. Back to the centre back. Suarez puts pressure on. It's gone long. Oh, well done. Korea pick it up. Can they build something here? It's gone out to Sonny. Oh, no, it's not Sonny. Sonny's wearing the mask.
Yeah, he's quite unpredictable today, Sonny, bless him.
Suarez on the ball. What can he do? Plays a lovely pass inside. There's Bentancur, number 6. It's gone out wide. Can they get a cross in? Bentancur screaming for it here in the middle. He wants it. He wants to get involved. He's saying, give me that ball. It's gone out wide to Oliveira. Oliveira cutting back inside. Uruguay just trying to keep a bit of possession here, trying to get a foothold in the game. Caceres and Godin passing it between them. Nico, he says, I don't see Argentina and Brazil both get into the semi-finals. I don't see it. Look, Argentina was a big surprise, Nick. Very big surprise. I don't think anybody seen it coming. Bar the Saudi Arabia players, to be honest with you. The celebrations were absolutely wild. But you know what? Fair play to them. I remember we whipped Saudi Arabia 3-0 back in 2002 at the World Cup, and I really thought they were going to be the whipping boys. I was actually surprised with how they looked, how decent they looked, to be honest with you, Nick. Big yourself up. Tottenham Forever says, is that you, Ryan? Let me know, my man. Let me know. You can't be changing names and then expect me to know who it is, brother. Let me know if that's you. Steve D says, you watching the game naked, Dermot.
I am, yeah. Just a bit for everyone's amusement, I am. Start raving naked.
Dave Hamilton says, Martin Tyler and Gary Neville commenting, nice. Yeah, Ryan, I emailed you back, brother. I'll send you another one after the game, my man. I'll send you another one after the game, lad.
I'd say one thing, though. Yeah.
What?
I'd say one thing, Dave, about this Uruguayan side. I've watched a lot of them in the qualifications for the World Cup. They are very rattled in defence. If you attack them, they will fold. So Korea are doing the right thing, starting off the way they're doing. Am I coming across a bit clearer now?
Yeah.
And not lagging as much?
No.
Good. I'm just trying to get this camera working.
Corner kick. Goal kick. What's he giving? I think it's a goal kick. He tried to keep it back in play, but I think it went out first. It's a good attack here down the right-hand side. If you could just get it under control first time, that would have been a great move. Yeah, it's gone out for a goal kick. It's gone way out. Korea looking good here, though.
Very impressive, South Korea.
Yeah, they're looking good, Darmo, no?
They are. I mean, this is only their sixth World Cup. I mean, they've only finished fourth in one World Cup, which was back in 2002.
Yeah, that was insane.
Ages, and I think the last six of the 6 times. I think Gus Hiddink was the manager for South Korea during that World Cup, if I'm right. Maybe Doc Soji can tell me, but I think it was Gus Hiddink when they got fourth.
Who's the manager now? Do you know?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. I didn't. That's a bit of research I didn't do. But I mean, they're both playing the 4-1-2-3 formation, both of them, so they're set it up the same.
Just turning into.
But Canada last night were very impressive.
Yeah, Canada were
well,
impressive.
If people want a bit of stat, got a few stats here for people. Of course, Uruguay twice world champions, 4 times quarterfinals in the last World Cup. Uruguay and South Korea didn't qualify for the 2018 World Cup. So there's a few stats to keep people entertained.
Transfer ball in here. Can they? Oh, what is that? That's absolutely shocking. And he's given out to the fullback for not making a run. I mean, all he had to do was take a touch and deliver it in. That's poor. Manager looks very disappointed as well. He knows it's a good opportunity wasting in such a good position. It's a good position to try and get the ball in there from a good angle. Get Sonny maybe running into the boards, the back post. Bentancur is right beside the goalkeeper. That is Bentancur. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Just rolls it short to Bentancur and lets him take it out. Interesting. Very interesting. That's him just slotting in between the centre halves as well to make it a 3.
He's just
clearly tasked with progressing that ball out.
Yeah.
Interesting role for Bentancur, just slotting. So basically, he's dropping back in. The 2 centre-backs push out wide, and it forms a back 3. Interesting. It's a ball over the top here, though, by Uruguay. Oh, Palestri, is it? Who's that? It's a good long ball over the top, I have to say. That's a great long ball. Good control as well. Swivel on the volley, and it's just gone over. It's a great move. Who's that? Young Palestri, is it?
Yeah, he's very impressive.
It's a good effort. Very good effort by number 15.
Who's impressed you in the World Cup so far, Dave?
Oh, it's Oliveira, I think. Give me a second. Mia says, what time are you guys on? Mia, I am on 1925, my dear. 1925.
Right, I paused mine. I'm a bit ahead of you, Dave. So when you get to 2007, let me know. Because I'm slightly ahead of you. There goes that.
Nick wants to know who you think is going to make the final, Dermo.
I think it will be Brazil against France. A repeat of the 98 World Cup final. I think France are going to get to the final. It'll be Brazil-France for me.
Brazil-France.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced by Brazil, Dermo. I think they're vulnerable at that back line. I really do. I think they're vulnerable to counterattacks. I'm not entirely convinced by Brazil's chances. I'm really not. Plus, I don't think they've got great strength and depth in the middle either, in the midfield. I think one injury to them could really push them over.
I don't know, Dave. For me, that's when Brazil are at their best, when they're dodging defence. It's like all the original Brazilian sides of the 70s and 82 World Cup that all had dodgy defence. And I just think they will. I just feel they will. They're unbeaten in the qualifying group. So do you know what I mean? But it will get there. Brazil-France for me. Unless a team stands out. Denmark could get quite...
What's all that noise you're making back there?
As well, but
can't hear you speaking with all the noise you're making.
I am not making any noise.
Yeah.
Right, that's better. I'm now
You're making loads of noise. I can't hear you over all the noise you're
making. I'm trying to top everything.
Oh.
Right. I apologise, Dave.
It's just two glorious chances there.
So I'm just trying to get set up.
One for Nunes. Right. Two glorious chances there for Uruguay.
What time are you now, Dave?
21:52.
What time are you now?
21:50. 22 now. Two glorious chances. Cavani on the bench there. He looks like Tarzan. Looks like Jeff Hendrick. Gordon on the ball.
Don't mention him.
Bentancur not really looking for it whatsoever. He just doesn't want it.
He's been tightly marked. He really is, Bentancur.
South Korea are putting on some great pressure here onto Uruguay. Uruguay are finding it very, very hard to play through them. They're not being given a minute whatsoever. It's a referee crying for it. He's telling the player to stop, not to go any forward on the throw-in. Godin. Bentancur's barely touched the ball. Sonny's had a couple of touches.
He's on the ball now, back to the back three again.
It's another long ball in behind. It's a clear tactic from Uruguay, these long switches of play. And again, they can't. Oh, they do pick it up. Well recovered. Who was that? Luis Suarez recovered that. Bentancur on the ball. Back to Bentancur. He's gone. Bentancur just picking it up. Lovely few touches here by Benta. Go forward. Where's the Spurs player we see? Uruguay starting to get a foothold in this game now, and this is where it becomes dangerous. Oh, he's took way too much out of that. What a clown. Who's that?
Back to Bentancur again.
Godin on the ball to Bentancur. Really struggling to find Nunes and Suarez, aren't they, Uruguay? Can't get it through that midfield. They're very compact and very energetic. Valverde drawing the free kick, though. But yeah, they're just struggling to play through there, Dermo.
They are, Dave. They seem to. South Korea seem to be very compact in that midfield, and that's why I think they're going for the width. But they can't even get that. Uruguay have not started well. South Korea sort of pinned them in. Doesn't look a full house there at the stadium either, to be fair to them.
None of them are full houses. You're not seeing the videos of the fans at the fan villages and everything. Yeah. This is a shithole.
I mean, they did say one attendance was 67,000, and the stadium only
They've
holds
announced
40
like 3 attendances, yeah, and it's like over what it holds. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is just sham.
It is really.
Ball in. Oh, it's gone out for a corner kick. Fancy Uruguay to maybe get a chance here, you know. The Korean team doesn't look like the biggest, to be honest.
But nor did the Japan side yesterday, Dave. You know, and I keep going back to that game, but the one and Germany didn't play well anyway. So, but Uruguay, I think, should get something off this corner.
Valverde standing over is that Vecino.
Vecino it is, yeah.
It's a good ball in. Ooh, just cleared in time.
He goes back again, back to the number 16 of Uruguay.
Oh, good ball into Darwin. What can he do? He's such a donkey. He's got 3 left feet, that guy. It's a long ball over the top, though. Sonny's on it. Yes. What can Sonaldo do? Son, young Messi.
Go on, Sonny.
Oh, he skins him. Oh, Jinx 2. He's going for the curler. Oh, it's a good ball in. It's just clear at the time. That's a brilliant play by Sonny, though. Starting to come alive in here a little. It's a great play. It's just that mask. It's affecting him. That would piss me off. Jinx, just
he's Batman.
Oh, good luck. See you later. Keep tracking back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful play by Sonny. Goes for the delivery.
I did say, Dave. Yeah, I did say to you, the Uruguayan defense can be shaky, and if you attack them, they will buckle.
I think we'll wait and see. I like their defenders. I like what they've got a choice from.
I have to say, I do love South American football. It is great crack.
Oh, beautiful by Bentancur. Oh, beautiful. Oh, he gives it away. Not picked up. Bentancur on it again. What can he do? Break it forward. So, look at Darwin Núñez. It's gone out wide to Darwin. It's overhit. Great keeping by the Korean keeper to keep it in as well. That is absolutely shocking. Who played that ball? What numpty played that? That's such an easy ball to play.
I know. I think it was played. That man there on the screen there with the ponytail. I can't get what his name is. I think it was Darwin. I think.
No, he didn't play it. He ran off it. I was just trying to see who played it. I think it was Vecino. Bentancur back on the ball, but Bentancur starting to grow into this game a little.
He is.
Diego Godin. Vecino. Back to Godin. Uruguay starting to grow into this game now. Korea's dominant start. They're just kind of starting to sit in their own half now again. I wonder, can they get out? It's gone out wide to Palestri. Doesn't do anything with it. Gets dispossessed very easy and gives away the free kick. It's absolute amateur hour. Korea doing well so far. I didn't think they'd be able to put up this much of a contest against Uruguay, to be honest.
It's a surprise of a World Cup. A lot of the minnow sides are putting in good performances so far, and it's showing again. Look, there's no easy game when you get to the World Cup at any stage, but the big teams still say that with the World Cup being in the winter, everyone would be peak fitness. Some of the big sides have not shown up. So, it could be a surprise winner of this World Cup. But South Korea, I've been really impressed with.
I don't think they've expected that some of these smaller teams, Dharma, have come with the... They've come better prepared than usually. I'd say defensively, their structures are a lot better, which then gives them the platform and the foundation to build on to be able to go and nick the games. Defensively, they've been a lot better than what they've been in recent tournaments, some of these minnows, and it's making for a very, very good competition.
It is, and I'm pleased to see that some of these minnow sides have caught. Yeah, but some of these minnow sides have caught up with the European sides and the South American sides, which is good to see.
Yeah.
And yesterday, Japan, you never thought Japan beating Germany. That was you wouldn't think that. Canada last night, what a performance! Should a lack of composure in front of goal, they would have got 2 or 3 last night.
They were just excited, weren't they, really, in front of goal? They kind of snatched at everything that came their way. It was just more nerves and excitement.
It was Australia the night before. I know France ran out winners, but again, Australia started brilliantly. So and some of these teams that are used to the heat and the high heat in this country in Qatar are more comfortable playing it than the European side. So it could become a factor. Like South Korea and Uruguay, Brazil, Argentina love playing at this sort of temperature. So you will see it come in the late stages. Some of the European sides won't go very far. USA, another side against Wales, I thought they were very
impressed
unlucky.
with them the other day, actually. I was very impressed with them, especially in the first half. Like, they just absolutely suffocated Wales. Wales could not get out, could not get out whatsoever. I was very impressed with the USA.
And it's not an easy game for England fans that are watching. It's not going to be a game you're going to turn up and win. You haven't beaten them in World Cup games. You drew one and lost one. So, they're like their bogeymen. Wales could get out of that group.
I'll tell you, I was very surprised with England. I was thinking with England, maybe nick it 2-3-0, get out, nice handy day. But to go for it in the manner they did and put the goals by them they did. If Gareth Southgate sticks at that 4, this England team is coming here hungry. And I think a lot of people, including myself, might have actually underestimated them.
Yeah, maybe so, Dave, but they've got the experience to go and find tournaments now, semi-finals and the final. And that plays a big way of mentality of winning tournaments. And
the only thing I would say is they got to drop Kieran Chip.
Sterling. I would say so. Trippier didn't play well the other night. But I was impressed with Wilson. Yeah, when Wilson come on, I was impressed with him. I thought he played very well.
Korea's starting to build a bit more of a hold in this game. Dermo, you're about 20 minutes behind.
I love it. What, in the match or the stream?
No, speaking. I say something and then 3 minutes later, then you're getting it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dave. It's the internet around here is shocking today, so I apologize to everyone. I don't mean to.
What are you saying biased me? I'm giving you praise. I thought you've done well the other day, to be honest with you. I thought you've done very well. I was actually impressed. Do you know what? I was very impressed with Bellingham. Look, this is a guy that I really like, and I've liked him for a long time. I've been speaking to Jacko about him for quite some time. I was actually very impressed with how good he is on and off the ball. A lot of times he just cleaned up play, and then going forward, being late into the box, late arriving into the box, getting in there for crosses. I just thought his all-round play was absolutely exceptional, and you've got an absolute world superstar on your hands there. And everybody will be back we will be back this evening, myself and Jacko, for that game, the Brazil game tonight. We will have the scoreboard and we will have the timer and everything else up. But with Jack being back in Seattle, he's now 8 hours behind. So it's nearly like a whole working day behind. So that's why he's not here today, because it's currently like 1, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's 5 a.m. where he is. I mean, it's madness how the time zones in USA work between New York and Seattle. Absolutely love it.
Here comes South Korea again.
Good shots from begging from Hwang, the Wolves striker. It's a really good ball across the box. Really good ball across. How has he missed that? Let's have a look at this again. Let's have a look at this again. It's a ball across. It's an absolute sitter. Do you know what it is? He leaned back there when he's striking it. You're always taught, lean over it because it keeps it down. When you lean back, you get underneath it and it rises. And that's exactly what happened to him there. If he could just get over it, he would have been able to keep that down and it would have been 1-0 to South Korea. Huge chance gone begging there. Probably the best chance of the game so far. It's been a fairly boring 34 minutes just watching the both teams pass it around the back. No team is given an inch in the midfield whatsoever. Uruguay, I've been very disappointed with them today, Dermot, so far.
I have too, Dave. I really have been really disappointed with them. South Korea, I'm really impressed with them. Really, really impressed. Look, South Korea deserved to be 1-0 up. He just bent back, as you said, and he just lifted it over. What a shame. What a shame. But do you know what? It won't be their last chance either. I think South Korea edging this, I think, a little bit, in my view. And there's somebody's hands on his head.
I think he knows that was a huge chance gone begging, to be honest. It's an absolute huge chance. Bentancur on the ball. He had a good 5-10 minute spell of dominance there, Bentancur, where he's doing well. He's starting to fade out the game a little. He's key in midfield for them. Diego Godin, they just can't get him on the ball. Back to Bentancur. Back into Diego Godin. Pushes it out wide. Fuck's sake, will you do something going forward? Like, this is so frustrating and shit to watch. Passing it around the back. You may as well just put Eric Dyer, Ben Davies, Session, and fucking Numpty Doherty all across there and watch that. Watch the training session. I mean, they're absolutely shit, Uruguay are.
Yeah, they're really.
If I was him, I'd be going mad at Bentancur as well. He's not doing enough to get on the ball. He's just standing there in midfield.
He's just put his thumb.
They're just rotating it from left to right. It's actually really shit to watch.
Yeah, he's just put his thumbs.
It's not coming off.
No, he's just put his thumbs up the manager, so he seems happy.
I don't know how. All you're doing is passing it between Diego from left to right, from Diego Godin out to fucking Numpty, back out to Twat. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Just move the ball forward. It's the World Cup, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Fair play to Korea, though. They're not actually really giving them anything to go forward with. But this is where Uruguay need to be a bit more inventive. Like, their players need to start maybe dropping in 5 or 10 yards to receive the ball and get on the turn with it and stuff. But Korea have a really good setup here in their own half where they're not really giving Uruguay much to aim for. But the other players need to be doing a lot more off the ball. Like, this is the last 3 minutes passing it from left to right here. Like, Korea are just happy to let them have it, moving it left to right.
It's shocking.
It's a shit game. Absolute shit game. I'd rather watch Samoa versus Fiji in the football, and they're known for rugby.
Shit game, and I've got shit internet. Oh, Lord.
Oh, I swear to God. I think Diego Godin is at the most. I'm delighted he done. I'm delighted that's gone out of play. They deserve that for being weak. You know, not going forward. It's just weak behaviour.
It is.
Just give me 1 second. I'm just got this call. I'm just getting a call here, Darmo.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I will do. Here's Uruguay now. It's a throw into South Korea now. Just past the halfway line now, and he gets it out there, throws it in. Uruguay with the ball goes out for another South Korean throw in. Listen, for me, South Korea have played very well for the first 38 minutes. Uruguay have been hugely disappointing. It's M.H. Kim now, the number 15 with the throw in now. But they should have scored six yards out. Really should have put that ball in the net, but they will get more chances as the game goes on. Here's South Korea now with the throw in. Tries to go down the line, gets stopped. Goes there, passes it to number 10, I think it is. And they go back. Yo?
Just get back on that FAI website. Apparently, it crashed this morning. So they're back up there now.
Right. Okay.
I just got a phone call there about it.
Right. Okay.
Korea with the shot. Oh, that one was moving. It was a knuckleball effort. It's gone over in the end, but that was a real knuckleball effort there.
I actually haven't come off it, Dave, so I'm just going to refresh it now.
Dark So G says, Dave, this Hwang is from Forest, currently loaned to Olympiacos. The other Hwang is from Wolves. Oh, I thought it was the guy from Wolves. So I did. Is this guy any good, Dark Sun G? He should have leaned over that. It would have been 1-0 to Yi. He just leaned back on the effort. Mia says, yeah, you lean back and give the ball height. Exactly. It's one of the first things you're taught when you're a kid. We've got Nick. He says, passing back from Numpty to Twatlog. Don't these two play for Spurs? Oh, darn, Nick. Do you know what it is, right? I get annoyed watching it now because it's like it's just weak. It's boring. It's not brave. You know what I mean? Just be brave on the ball. At least try things. I can accept someone trying things, but what I can't do is accept someone taking the ball, looking up and going, duh. Oh, I'll just move it to the right-hand side because it's easier. I mean, it's just weak and spineless. But saying that, the Uruguay players need to do a lot more to get on the ball as well. Like they're like Bendigo's just standing there in the one spot. Korea now with the throw-in. I've been very impressed with Korea's defensive structure. They're not going to be easy to break down at all, this Korean team. No. Full of energy, got a good setup defensively. Going forward, they're maybe lacking a little bit. Daxon G, let me know. Are you usually better than this going forward? Right now, there's a lot of misplaced passes going forward from South Korea. But I tell you what, defensively, you are absolutely set up nicely. Kim Min-jae on the ball. As well, I was looking through the lineup, Daxon G. There's a lot of Kims. A lot of Kims in the lineup. The Korean monster moving forward with the ball. That's what you like to see. Gets a good ball. It's another ball across.
Penalty.
Cut out. Get on it. Get another good ball in. No, straight off. Who's that? Off Vizino. Sonny picks it up. The Uruguay striker is making moves in behind again. South Korea give it away in a good position. Just can't seem. The Uruguay are doing all right defensively as well. Actually, it's a very, very defensive game.
I agree.
Sonny on the ball. Sonny just holding up there for a minute. Are you in the queue, Darmo?
I am 78.
Woo!
Getting there.
Jeez, man. The sister was on there this morning, right? She was like 300 in line. And then went because she's getting my three sisters are put in together to get me the season ticket for Ireland for next season, and for Christmas, and she got there and they were all gone. And then I said, right, well, I'll go in line. There was like 2,000 in line and all. It was just like, I don't know, but apparently it went down. Apparently they're all back up there now. So Uruguay with the corner kick here. It's been a very shit first half. Let's see if they can do anything.
I'm jumping up in big chunks. I'm now.
Should be going down, Dermo. Not up. Your internet's not
down
bad,
to 55
it's
now,
rising
so I'm
up
big chunks. I'm going down. I apologise again, Dave, for this. I'm really sorry. I feel really bad from the internet. I feel
Let's
really.
see if Uruguay can
You're
do
a
anything
professional
with this
outfit, and you.
Let's see if Uruguay can do anything with this corner kick. It's a good delivery. He's on the end of it. It's off the post. Oh. And it was Diego Godin as well. Sorry, see people getting up. It's good, strong header as well.
Yeah.
Raz the inside of the post, comes back across the face of goal. It's a great delivery. He gets on the end of it. It goes back across. And good alert defending by the South Korean player there. I think who was it? Suarez coming in behind. It's another corner kick. It's gone to the edge of the box. Number 16. He doesn't know what to do. Look at him. He hasn't a clue what to do. He's such a dummy. It's gone to Bentoncourt. Let him do it. That's it. It's beautiful. He's gone backwards. No, it's not beautiful.
It's gone all the way back again.
It's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper. How can you go from a corner kick up in the other half all the way back to the goalkeeper? It's so boring. Jesus Christ. It's the World Cup. I'm supposed to be entertained. Honestly, if this is Spurs, I'd absolutely put my fist through that wall. Going from the corner kick up the other end all the way back to your goalkeeper. Self-inflicted, by the way, as well. Options to pass it back. That's what they've done. Instead of doing anything going forward with all the centre-backs from the box, they decided to pass it back. That's what's even more frustrating. If that was Moon Boots, I'd be going absolutely ballistic. Moon. Adrian Chia says, worst game of World Cup so far. Denmark versus Tunisia was boring for me. Look, I'll be honest, this is right up there. right up there with it. I think it's a really boring game, really defensive game. I will say credit to South Korea, though. They've come with a really good defensive structure to stifle Uruguay because, look, for me, the onus is on Uruguay in this game. They don't seem to have took that on board. They seem to be waiting around. I don't know why. They're waiting around for Korea to come out, and Korea are just happy to let them have that ball from left to right, which I do not mind, to be honest with you, if you're from Korea. Uruguay have been a bit disappointed. I think Uruguay and Korea both going forward. I just think it's been a lot of misplaced passes, piss poor. Very, very boring game. But Adrian Chia, Denmark and Tunisia, that was... Do you know what, though? I think it was entertaining in a way that Tunisia had breakaway moments where perhaps they could have went and stole the game, you know? But this one is boring. It's another good ball into the box, and it's he's jumping backwards on the header, and it's gone wide. It's just very, very, very boring. I don't know where Dermo's gone. I'm going to have to ring him at halftime. Who else have we got? Douglas Talk says it's only because of Spurs' 9 last games that you are so tired of this, Dave. Both teams saw what happened to Argentina and Germany in their games, and they are cautious. Sorry for bad spelling. No, I definitely see what you're saying, my man. Do you know what it is for me, Douglas Talk, right? I think the attacking flair is going out of the game. They're being able to think for yourself. I mean, I think players are so overcoached now. You know, don't take risks. Pass it back inside. Go backwards. Keep the possession. I just think it manifests itself in games now where there's clearly times. Just clip the ball around the corner. There's a runner. Nope. Save pass, save pass, save pass, save pass. I mean, honestly, it's like we're at a sex dungeon sometimes. What's your safe word? You know what I mean? It's a joke. It's just save pass, and I'm bored of it. You know? The kids coming through now and for quite a while have been overcoached, in my opinion. Can't think for themselves. All the creativity's gone out of the game. It's all about patterns, this, that, and the other. Sometimes you just need an individual just to get on the ball and say, move out my way. I'm just going towards goals. You can't take it off me. I'm going to put it in top bins. You know? Someone just to say, okay, but then I'll cut it on the right, I'll swing in it. You know what I mean? It's all safe. And it's boring. It's supposed to be the beautiful game, for God's sake. But big up, Duncan Stork. Mia W says, Dave, you displease me with your boring football. Be gone, Lord. Yeah. What is it? What is it? I'm trying to think of the flee from my presence. That's it, Mia. You know, it's boring football. Flee from my presence. But big up, Mia. And then we've got Sharpest Live says, didn't know Uruguay play so defensive football. I mean, Dermot, they've been absolutely useless, hasn't they?
They fucking have. And I'm now back on the duck. Yeah, it is very boring. But they play like that. That's the way they play. They're a defensive South American side. So
yeah, but Dermot, the onus is on them to go and take the game to South Korea. Like South Korea coming out of this will be happy with a point. It's a very good start to the group for them. The onus is on Uruguay, who everyone's backing as dark horses, this, that, and the other, to go and take the game. Like if you look what South Korea on their all half, they didn't bother pressing that back line. They set up with two standing on the halfway line, another pushing up sort of a few meters away from Bentancur. So if the ball goes in there, they're ready to snap it. Push up high and out wide. And they're just letting Uruguay pass from side to side. And Uruguay are just doing that. But surely the onus is on Uruguay to make something happen. You're talking about Valverde, Ficino, Bentancur, Nunes, Suarez.
Yeah, it is on Uruguay to attack and make something happen. But South Korea are not letting them do that. That is what good South Korea's performance is. They're stopping them from playing. So instead of trying to go forward, they have to keep going back all the time because South Korea are pressing them. And do you know what I mean? Once South Korea go back, Uruguay go back, they haven't got a clue. They are a very ordinary side. And for me, all the praise has to go to South Korea for a first half performance that's been top notch. And again, it's like Japan, Australia, Canada. All these minnow sides are rising to the occasion. And I have to say, Sonny can be very proud of his teammates because they have put in the shift. And they'll do the same the other second half. I can't see. I can see a South Korea winning this game. I cannot see any other way.
I think South Korea started off very, very well. First 10 minutes, dominating Uruguay. I think where South Korea have let themselves down today, and Dark Sung G, let me know whether you agree or not. I think where they've kind of let themselves down is in that final third. The crosses haven't been good. A lot of them have hit the first man. A lot of sort of misplaced passes. Just for me, when I look at South Korea going forward, it just takes that one player just to get on the ball, calm it down a little, and just spend dominant spells of possession in that Korea half or in that Uruguay half. I'll be honest, I actually wanted Uruguay to go on and do well, but they've been just shit that first half. They've pissed me off, and now I want South Korea to go on and beat them, to give them a wake-up call. In fact, that's what some of these big teams need. They need a wake-up call. They need to be better first group game. And look, it'd be... Dark Sunji, let me know if you think a draw would be a good result from this game as well, buddy. He says, I would be happy if Argentina and Wales go home early. I think a lot of tournament teams in the tournament would be happy if that happens. Look, Messi was absolutely non-existent the other day. I was very disappointed with Argentina, to be honest with you. I thought they would have created a hell of a lot more than what they did. Fair play to Saudi Arabia. Wales gave it a good go in the second half. Can't keep relying on that. Cannot keep relying on that. They could go home early. Big up Dark Sun G. Foggy Foam says, good afternoon, guys. Great to see you all doing okay. Big up my man, Foggy Foam. Tune back in later for the Brazil game where Jacko will be with us as well. Big yourself up. Douglas Talk says, is there any technical reasons for this boring football, Dave? I can't see the game, so can you describe it a bit? Look, honestly, South Korea, they're just setting up lovely inside their own half when Uruguay have the ball. They're not going beyond that halfway line, just setting up in a nice defensive structure. Uruguay have no answers to it, man. They're just passing it across the back line. And they're not trying anything going forward. And I'll be honest, I'm not sure Uruguay players are doing enough off the ball to be able to receive the ball either. Look, fairness to South Korea, anytime the ball goes in there, they're all over it like flies, chomping, chasing, harassing, and basically just breaking up for Uruguay. But the Uruguayan players, there's none of them really dropping in 5-10 yards bursts of movements to try and get the ball. Sometimes all it takes is as a winger, dropping back, hopefully bring the full back with you. When he comes, quickly change, sprint in behind and get that ball delivered. Just little things like that could be done that Uruguay just aren't doing. Look, if I was their manager, I'd be going absolutely ballistic. I'd be saying, you're playing into Korea's hands. This is what they want you to do. Pass it from side to side. They're happy. They want to take the ball, hit us on the counter. It's up to us to go after this game and make something happen. And this is where I just say, like, compared to when I was watching football back in the day, growing up, compared to now, I just think when I look at individuals, there's just no creative flair in them. It's like they always have to be told what to do. And that comes from being overcoached coming through the ranks, and it's just annoying. It's just annoying. No one can think for themselves on the football pitch anymore. You all have to wait till half time to be told what to do. Wait for the manager to scream at them. There's no problem solving out there between players anymore. It's just brain dead to me. This guy says Nunes is overrated. I mean, Dermot, do you think Nunes is overrated? He's done fuck all in this game.
He's very much overrated. I think he's been useless this first half. And something to go on what you just said, Dave, about players having to be told. Back in the day, I can remember back to the 80s where there was leaders on the pitch that would give you a rollicking if you weren't doing your job correctly.
Dermot, if I was a midfielder or a striker, I'd be walking straight down to Diego Goldie and I'd be grabbing him by the scuff of the neck and I'd say, if you pass that left or right, again, I'm coming down here and I'm physically going to beat you up. Start playing that ball forward. Because, it's the only way you're going to get these players to fucking start listening to you. If I was a striker making these movements, I'd be so annoyed.
Yeah.
I'd grab him by the scruff neck. Honestly, I'd say, I'd actually say, if you even think about passing it left or right, I'm coming after you, let alone doing it, if you even think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shocking. Really is shocking. I mean, he is so overrated. It's unreal. I mean, players think they're bigger than they are now, and that's the problem.
Oh, it's just the lack of problem solving out there and the lack of creativity in games you're seeing now. It just boggles the mind, It just boggles the mind. Peter M says, big up, David and Dermot. Great to see a great two players in this game. Do you know what? Both have been very quiet, though, I would say, Peter M, if I'm being brutally honest. Both have been very, very quiet. Big up, Nick Harmonot. Good to see you, brother. I hope you're keeping well. Foggy Foam says, Jimenez's passing range is absolutely beauty. That's what we need for the centre back. Yeah, it's not bad, to be fair. Not bad, although he needs to do it more. Peter M says, yesterday's Japan victory over Germany was amazing. Dull game until the Japanese equaliser. Yeah, very, very good point. But look, South Korea aren't going to come out. They're going to sit there and take a point, I'm telling you. Dark Sung G backs me up here. He says, this would be a valuable 1 point because I'm more scared of Uruguay than Portugal, to be honest. If we somehow get 3 points, I'd be ecstatic. Kim Min Jae is a boss in defence. Who's the other team in that group, Dermo? Portugal and who?
Portugal, there's Portugal, there's Uruguay. Do you know what, Dave? I'll quickly look it up. I actually don't know off the top of my head. I did have it written down.
Oh, who are they playing? I think this was a tough group. It's an African Ghana. That's it.
Ghana, yeah.
Look, if I was South Korea, I'd be looking to take a point here, take a point against Portugal, and put all your hopes on beating Ghana. That's exactly what I would be going with if I was your nation, Dark Song G. That's exactly what I'd be doing, to be honest with you, because I think we done it in 2002. Didn't we draw 1-1 with Cameroon, drew 1-1 with Germany, and then bet Saudi Arabia, the easiest team in the group, last group game. And that's what I'd be doing if I was South Korea. I'd be delighted with a point here today, delighted with a point here against Portugal. This is what I'm saying. The onus is on a lot of these, the likes of Uruguay and Portugal, to go forward and break them down. If they're not going to do this half, Uruguay could find themselves in a very, very precarious situation very, very quickly. So they need a big 45 minutes. Dark Song G. Dermo, Kim Min Jae is a boss in defence. Do you like the look of what you're seeing?
I love what I'm seeing. I think he's been brilliant. I think he's he's authoritative. He commands his area well. And
I like the way he runs out with the ball.
Yeah, he does. He's very comfortable on the ball as well. He's a bit like Longley. He can put it down and run out with it. That's what we're screaming at Tottenham for. But I've been impressed with the whole South Korea team. I have to say, I've been very impressed with them.
I've been very impressed with their energy levels.
Yeah, they're very... A lot of these teams are coming out, the high adventurous, high energy. You know, they're not
look
scared.
At some of these games, though, Dermo, the teams that know they have to come out with this relentless sort of press and this relentless sort of energy, they're getting their results, Dermo. Big teams that are used to sitting back, knocking around, eventually the chance will come. I'll be honest, I hope a lot of them get caught out this tournament because it'll then make them come out and play the way some of these smaller teams are starting to come out and play. Want it more, hungry, running more. And I think it'll make it, that's when you'll make for a great spectacle, when you see the best players in the world actually do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I have been, as I said, Canada last night's a prime example of that. No fear in them. They've come out, you don't scare us. You may be Uruguay, but we're better than you. Do you know, we can beat you. And that's this World Cup. There's no mentality of you're better than us. We're as good as you. And that's what you're seeing from South Korea, Canada, Australia, or Japan yesterday. They're coming out with the confidence of we can beat you. And it's not like World Cups gone by, but I'll go back to 86. Argentina beat South Korea 3-1. You expected them to be the whipping boys of the group. It's not like that anymore. I mean, Saudi Arabia is a prime example of that, beating Argentina. I mean, you wouldn't think of that 8 years ago. We beat them in 2002.
Do you know what, Dermot? This is what I'm saying. I'm delighted because now Argentina have to come out the next game. They have to put it right. And they have to come out and play. None of this donkey crap sitting around, prodding, poking, passing it side to side, one pass into midfield, back to the other centre-back to try and find a bit of space. Sometimes you've got to create it yourself. Now, hopefully now, next game, you'll actually see Argentina come out, use their skill, beat a couple of players and make shit happen rather than this passy crap that we keep seeing, this tick-a-tack bull crap.
It happened in 1990. Argentina lost Cameroon in their first game of the World Cup. They went all the way to the final. Now, they didn't have a great World Cup and lost to Germany in the final 1-0. But it's the same thing again. It can happen again. Germany in 86 played absolutely awful, but got to a final. So do you know what I mean? It's not how you start, it's how you finish this World Cup. And it's about momentum. And I think a lot of these teams think they can roll up, we're going to get 3 points today. It's only Saudi Arabia. It's only South Korea. And then at halftime, they're shocked. Hang on, we didn't know they can play like this. And I think it's a mentality of these teams. And look, I'm glad some of these big sides are being beaten because it's great for the World Cup. It's great for us as fans watching it, and it's great for the people. It's great for the tournament as well because they've got a great chance now going into the next round. They just need another win or pick up 2 more points, and they've qualified. So
I think it's good for the competition. I really do. I'm sick of these big teams, thinking they can come here, play shit football when the fans are paying big money for it. You know what I mean? And I'm tuning in with anticipation. And that's why international football has gone to the dogs, because these big wigs are turning up. They're going through the motions, and now they're starting to get caught. And I'm absolutely buzzing it's starting to happen, because hopefully now you'll actually start seeing international games like where everything was on the line, like when I was growing up watching football. They're all turning up now, just strolling through the motions, taking the safe option, trying to get away from without being hurt. And I hope a lot of these big teams do get turned over, because, and they're getting turned over by Saudi Arabia, who every single one of their players want to be there. Same as Japan, same as South Korea today. You know what I mean? And long may it continue, because hopefully it get these bigger nations to get their fucking ass into gear. Dark Sun G says, for your information, Ghana's our next game, Portugal is our last. Well, if you beat Ghana, you're practically out of the group. But, I would fancy you taking a point off Portugal as well. I mean, Serbia bet them there over the last year and topped the group to get out in the European section, my man. So, there's definitely a chance to do Portugal. Big up, Dark Sun G. THFC says, will you talk about the property news that came out today? Very much, I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any property news, not unless Tottenham have bought something. I don't know.
THFC, just put in below what it's about, man. I haven't seen it today.
I know the finances came out yesterday, I think.
I don't think they did come out today.
I think they did. Is it yesterday or today?
No, they were due out yesterday, but I don't think they were out. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong.
Probably fiddling the figures. Oh, Lord.
Honestly, though, I didn't see anything about the property. I've been keeping an eye on the news today.
Yeah, I've actually been waiting for Sean to do his video on it, to be fair. Actually, that's what I had to wait for. The teams are just... Sorry, go on, Dad. Sorry, Dave.
Dark Sun G says, if Germany and Argentina lose again, they're out 100%. Yeah. And you know what? I hope they go home. Hope they go home. It's what they deserve it, Dark Sun G. Like I said, I'm sick of these these big teams turning up, going through the motions when they're supposed to excite people. No, enough of it. Now they're being caught up, because these littler teams, they want it more, they're more hungry, they're willing to run more, and they're willing to earn it more, and they're getting their results. So long may it continue, because I'm fed up with these big teams rocking up and putting in crap performances. Fox on the Hill Prince says, I wonder if Sonny was clean through when Benchcore would take him clean out. Yeah, he probably will. I would. Yeah. International football, it is what it is at the end of the day. Peter M says, the standard football has gone up all over the world. A good player can hope to go to Europe and play in the top leagues regardless of where they grew up, allowing their home nations to compete. Spot on, very good point. And Peter Simmons says, listen, the winner will come from 6 teams as usual. We'll wait and see, my man. We'll wait and see. Look, second half is underway, though. Go on.
I was doing a bit of research on the World Cup the last few weeks, Dave, with the World Cup coming. And I found, like, back in 1990, when we qualified for our first World Cup, we drew our 3 games and still qualified out of that group. Yeah. Cameroon in 82 went home undefeated in their first World Cup. So, look, you can have surprise teams. I noticed the second half, South Korea were in the huddle, in the circle on the pitch, cheering each other up. Uruguay were just wandering out of the tunnel.
Uruguay has given them belief, Darmo.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Like, these teams that don't come out and try and get the job done in the first half, man, all you're doing is giving the underdogs the belief. And it's a very, very dangerous position to put yourself in.
It was like us back in 1990, Dave. Nobody gave us a chance, and we reached the quarterfinals. And, we really should have beaten Italy that night, and we lost 1-0 due to Scalacci getting a goal. Paki Bono made a rare error. But it was like us in 88 as well in European Championships. Nobody gave us a hell's chance of beating England. Yeah. What did we do? We get the first goal and we defended like hell. So, people, I think these teams look to Ireland. Look, Ireland have done it. We've trailblazed through tournaments of being the underdogs. And I think other nations have taken example from us. And if they can do it, we can do it. So it's great to see. It's great for the World Cup and it's great for football.
You're looking at some of these players, right? It's their last World Cup. You're thinking, give it everything. You know what I mean? Go out with a bang. You know, you've got Muller there. You've got, like, yesterday with Germany to Japan. You've got Suarez today alongside Godin. You know, a lot of that Uruguay team, some of them are in their 30s. You know what I mean? And it's like, just not giving it anything. South Korea, that's 2 free kicks on the edge of the box. How is he not blowing for one of them? That's shocking. That's shocking refereeing.
It is. I thought I was thought the camera working there for a minute. It is shocking. Uruguay have started off the same way they finished the first half, just tippy-tapping around. South Korea are just there pressing. They're like hounds. They're like dogs. They're like foxes after the wolves.
Look, it's just all across the back line. It's just so boring, man. You know?
It is. And you look at South American football in general, which I have done the last 2 years. Argentina, Brazil are exciting to watch. Colombia are exciting to watch. Uruguay are the most boringest team in the whole South American football. They nearly got banned from the 1990 World Cup because they were so bad in '86. They were they're getting players sent off every other game, and FIFA nearly banned them for the next World Cup back in '86. I mean, they lost 1-0 to Argentina in the round of 16, but Uruguay are just awful.
One long ball is all it takes, you know, with 2 runners. I mean, it's not hard, you know.
It
was, I think Funny Foam said it, you know. That guy does have a good passing range on him. You know, it's all it takes. It's a bit of cleverness, you know. Football's not hard. No. Uruguay make it look hard.
Yeah, they have Suarez up front, who's actually scored 68 goals for his country. He's the leading goal scorer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy that was at Liverpool.
Yeah, it was the fella that likes biting ears, and back in 2010 against an African side, he handballed it off the line or something to save them getting a goal.
Against Ghana in the World Cup. Yeah, I was saying this on your show the other day.
Yeah,
I can't wait to watch that game. That'd be spicy. Yeah, he jumped back onto the line, handballed it, and then they missed the resulting penalty, and Uruguay went through.
I think that ball's still has just gone past Jupiter from the Ghana player. Bless him.
Yeah, it's just gone by my window there, lad.
Oh dear.
Let's welcome a few more people in. We've got Zoe says, big up, boys. Didn't even get a notification. It's a decent match so far. I actually think it's really boring, to be honest with you, Zoe. It's driving me insane. If I watch the Brazil game and it's like this tonight, I'm just going to fume. I'm going to absolutely lose my shit. But good to see you. Why you didn't get the notification, I do not know why. I don't even have a contact in YouTube to get in contact and see why. But look, it is what it is. But really appreciate it, Zoe. Carl Simpson says, good afternoon, gents. Maybe someone needs to tell South Korea to pass the sun. Yeah, I think it's so, my man. I think it's so.
Yeah.
Beat yourself up, Carl. Good to see you in the building, brother. Peter Simon says, surprise World Cup winner. Never heard of one. No, look, it could. Look, one of the big teams may win it, but I guarantee you'll have surprise teams in the quarters and the semi-finals that on paper have no right to be there. You know, all I'm saying is I'm just sick of these big teams showing up and doing fuck all. You know, well, and I hope a lot of them get caught. I really do, because you know it'll only push them on to actually turn up and play games the way they're supposed to play them when they're the bigger team.
Yeah, I mean, you had Bulgaria back in '94 reach semi-final, surprise team. You had back in 2002, South Korea reaching the semi-finals. Italy, who won the World Cup, drew their first 3 games in '82, so nobody expected them to win it. Germany in '86 didn't deserve to be in the final. I know Argentina wasn't a great side in '86; it was only Maradona. Again, Mexico reached the quarterfinal. So there are these teams that reach latter stages of major tournaments, especially at World Cups, and will surprise you. And it's only going to come like South Africa, Ghana, Bulgaria. I tell you one thing, this could be the World Cup when the Minnow wins the World Cup. Actually, it will be completely nobody we thought of.
Here's the thing, right? People say the standard of football has gone up. I disagree. I really disagree, right? Right now in world-class players, right, you're talking like especially the last while. Messi, Ronaldo, you probably put Haaland in there now who's come to the fore. And maybe a Kylian Mbappe, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, back in the day, Dermo, you had Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, Henry. You know what I mean? I haven't even gone into England yet. You had Gerrard, Lampard, Scholes, Rooney. You know, I would actually argue now that there's nowhere near the level of world-class players now in football than there was when I was growing up. And you're talking like Zola, this, that, and the other, you know? You have players who literally had flair, who could do a bit of skill while beating a man, deliver crosses, deliver that final pass, deliver them goals on a more consistent basis, I would say, than now. I don't think you have as many world-class players. And I'm talking about all across. I'm talking about from midfield to the defense to the attackers. I think you've probably got better goalkeepers now, but I don't think you've got better defenders than when I was growing up. I mean, I'll just name a few off the bat: Cafu, Lucio, Roberto Carlos, Nesta, Maldini. You know what I mean? The list goes on and on and on. Midfielders, list goes on and on. Forward line, list goes on and on and on. Nowadays, there's not that list available. I actually think it's got worse. I actually think a lot of the individualness is taken out of the game. I think they're just so overcoached now. I don't know whether people in the comments agree with me. You know, let me know.
I mean, Dave, I mean, I can go back to my era. I mean, we had Maradona, the end of Zico in '82. Zico, you had Dino Zoff, probably one of the greatest goalkeepers of his time. You had Maldini, who came into your generation, if you know what I mean, Dave, who started when I was a kid. I mean, Maradona literally dragged the whole nation to a final. I mean, you had great players in my time, and we are missing a generational of a talent. Messi, for me, is probably the best player in the world. And I think he's better than Ronaldo, myself personally. But you are right, Dave. There isn't the individual player like there was back in the day. And I think they are too overcoached. I think it's all about defense. It's all about doing your job instead of letting flair players be flair players. And I think you're right on that. I think you're spot on that. And, you know, it's sad. It's sad to see, but I just think I think it will happen again, but I think it's just football going through phases, going through cycles, and we will see it again.
Years ago, you know, everyone sort of grew up playing. You went into these academies, and you were brought in for your skills and everything else, for your individual brilliance, and they look to hone that into a complete player. Whereas nowadays, it's you're not just picked on your level of ability. You know, you're picked on some places. You know, your height. You know, strength, speed. I mean, it's all nonsense. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the brain and the ball moves faster than any player. Yeah. I just want to get back to that, where you're bringing players through on their individual skill and their individual talents, rather than bringing them in and doing what they're doing with them nowadays. Yeah. There's just no one that can think for themselves. It's like, look forward, the pass isn't on, just pass it sideways. Like, no one's willing to take that ball and run and make something happen and stuff like that. Just everything's coached out of them. And, you know, like, the list, like, you know, I haven't even talked about Pirlo, Ballack, Kaka. You know what I mean? All these sort of players, like, you know, the list just goes on and on and on and on.
I'm sorry to jump in there, Dave. Sonny's gone down in a lot of pain.
He's just come back. He's come down the back of the Achilles. He's took the boot off.
Oh, that looks nasty.
That's going to hurt.
They look quite concerned on the bench.
No, I think he'd be all right. It's just a painful one.
Yeah. I mean,
it's not looking good. They're very frantic around behind them.
Yeah. I mean, I've been watching a lot of our World Cup games on YouTube back in 82 and 86, and you look at the Brazilian side of 82, it's just flair players, attack, sort the defense. Let us do what we do best, and I think that's what's missing in our games these days. It's flair players, and you're all right. I don't know if it's coached in from an early age, Dave. If clubs or leagues should do something different, but do you think it starts from an early age that they're coached out of you know, if you are a flair player, do you think it's coached out?
I mean, you got a question. Early? How does Serge Aurier or get a contract, or Moussa Sissoko? They can't control the football. They can't shoot. How are they getting contracts? Because they're pace. Because they're strong. You know, it's nothing to do with, you know, like this is what drives me mad nowadays. Like you see players at Tottenham, they can't even do the basics. How are they getting contracts? You know, it's madness. It's absolutely madness.
It is, and it's football nowadays. And I missed what football used to be like. I missed the old games. I missed back when I was a kid, and I know you do too. It's really shocking.
Much better players growing up. Much better players.
Yeah. Do you think teams now have just gone too defensive, Dave? Do you think, especially in the international side?
So it's all gone
Look
too
at our
safe,
Irish side.
It's all
shocking.
gone too safe for me. It's not the spectacle it once was. It's nowhere near it, you know? Nowhere near it. Mia says, don't forget, a lot of things have changed in football and how it's played. Oh, 100%. I get that, Mia. I get it. But no one can tell me that the list of world-class players now matches up to 2002, 3, 4, 5. No one can tell me. There's nowhere near the level of quality players now compared to where there was back when I was growing up watching football. But this is the problem, Mia. It's all gone way too safe. You know, there's no flair anymore. You know, no one really does any skills anymore. You know, the excitement's gone out of it, mate. It's just gone. And that's what drives me mad. I get things have changed and stuff like that. But football is the most played sport in the world. You're telling me there isn't better talent out there. I know players from around where I grew up that were better than some of the guys we're seeing. And they just, unfortunately, because the scouting networks and that aren't that great, just never really got given that opportunity, you know? But like for instance, I grew up with a guy, right? I mean, he could hit a midget stick from about 40 yards. Just every time. Give him the ball, put it on the midget stick, and he'll do it. Every single time. Skill, flair, technique, finishes, you know, scores goals, everything else. Didn't get a chance. And then you're looking at someone like Matt Doherty who can't even pass a fucking ball. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's honestly, it's ridiculous. The game's just gone so safe and boring. And do you know why, mate? Do you know why it's gone like that? Because the money that's at stake now. That's why.
I mean, you look at Maradona for an example, Dave. The second goal he scored against England, right? That run he made where he took on the whole team.
You wouldn't see that now.
No, you couldn't. You wouldn't see it now. But you look back and you're thinking that was skill on a pitch that was falling apart. Gary Lineker even said that pitch was falling apart. And he'd done that goal. You wouldn't see it now. It's not. They just tell him, once you get the ball, pass it back or just pass it sideways. Not, you got the ball, express yourself. That's what managers used to say back in the 80s and 90s. Express yourself. Go out and enjoy it and express yourself. That isn't there anymore. And Tottenham were a prime example. We were the best player team in the land. Look at us now. And that's down to managers now coming through that were ex-players who are now managers playing the way they were taught, where the managers that were before were taught in a different way. So I think it has to be...
Do you know what it is, Dermo? The mentality is completely different as well. You know, from when I was growing up, you had proper men out there. Nowadays, you've got little wannabes. You know what I mean? They're more worried about the little blonde highlights in their hair. Like, you see them fixing their hair every time.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, please, Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? I don't care what your hair looks like. I care what you're doing just go and play football.
Yeah.
You know? It's just absolutely madness. The mentality has changed. But also, I know nowadays it's outdated and people don't agree with it. But they had to earn the right to play for their club. They had to sweep the dressing rooms. They had to clean the boots. They had to do stuff as an apprentice that, look, yeah, obviously you hear stories where some of it's gone overboard. Fine, I understand that. But there's still no reason why you can't make them sweep, you know, clean up the boots and everything else and, you know, make them earn it, you know, just test their character out, this, that, and the other. You know, nowadays you've got little crybabies going around, you know, all just crybabies. Like, the mentality is different as well. And with doing the apprenticeship, because you've had to earn it, because you've had to go through hardship, when you get them minutes, you take them. You take every single second you're getting. Nowadays, there's players happy to sit there and wait till they're 22, 23, You know, not a bit of first team action. They've made thousands upon thousands, you know, and they can set themselves up with a business or whatever they want after without actually playing a minute of first team football. It's just absolutely crazy. And when they do get the minutes, then you get these excuses where it's, oh, well, I need to play 10 games on the row. You know, and it's just not, I don't know the answer why I'm not playing well. And it's like, back in the day, they'd literally stand there and go, do you know what? My own fault. You know, I'm not up to it. I'm not good enough. I can't take the minutes. Nowadays, they just don't want to do that. You know, they hang on. Just ridiculous.
Prime example of that, Jimmy Greaves. £8 in the summer, £8 playing in the season, £6 in the summer. He worked at Wimbledon sweeping the terraces in the summer or doing a bit of gardening to make his money so he could live.
Yeah.
Players now get 100,000. God knows how much like Scarlett's on or Divine, how much they're on a week. You know, they'll be on a couple of grand a week, which is very easy to live on. You work at the month. And it's too much money too soon, Dave. And you look at players back in the day, £300, £400 a week, which was a lot of money back in them days.
Do you know what it is, though, Dermot? They're all too comfortable. You know, they're all earning the big bucks where they don't need to stay back and hone their skills or hone their talents. You know, back in the day, because you were on pittance and there was such a disparity between first team wages and apprentice wages, you stayed back to hone your skills because you had to be the very best to earn that money. It's an incentive. Nowadays, it's just given to them, where it's like, stay back and practice my passing. You mad? I've got a Bentley waiting out there with the heating on. Good luck. You know?
I mean, everyone criticizes.
I've got to go and do something for Instagram. What are you talking about? I can't stay back today. It's a joke.
Everyone criticizes Beckham, but Beckham used to stay behind and practice and practice and practice and practice. And same as Harry Kane, he practiced God knows how long for shooting on goals. Not much has happened in the game, by the way. I just want to put that out there. It's still boring.
Boring, honestly. So boring.
Uruguay. Yeah, I'm second in queue, so I'm nearly there, Dave.
Happy days.
Yeah. Uruguay did make a substitution.
Yes, I got mine. I got my season ticket.
Where did you get yours?
My three sisters are pooling together for Christmas to get it for me.
Yeah, what seat did you get?
I don't know. You don't get to pick a seat, Dermo. It's just we got Cat C tickets.
All right. So hopefully you won't be in with hopefully you're in with the mad lot that we want to be in the next time we go.
Well, Cat C gives you the sort of, because it's the cheapest one, Dermo, it gives you the corners.
Yeah.
So I think it'll probably be in and around where we were for the game you weren't there. What game was that?
Armenia.
Yes.
I wish you went now. I'm yet to see them win. I saw one goal. I yet to see them win at the Aviva.
If you do get an option of a stand to pick it in the south stand.
I will do. I mean, look, I'd love to know people's best World Cup memories. Mine is 82 and 86. I go back to then as a kid, waking up, watching the great side, Brazilian side of 82. Oh, Jesus, they were brilliant. Zico and Socrates and...
Mine is 98. I remember France and Brazil in the final. That was absolutely epic. And France looking to try and win it on home soil as well. And then 2002, Ireland, of course, being in it. That was a phenomenal run we had. Look, should have knocked out Spain and went to the quarters. It didn't happen. But also the Brazil team that won that were amazing. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you reckon if Keno had stayed, I reckon we would have got to the final. You know, I did watch that program the other night on RTE. I think we would have got to the final.
Well, the next team we would have got would have been South Korea. Yeah. So, look, I know they got to the semis, but you would have given us a shout there. And then it would have been Germany in the semis, which we already got a 1-1 out of them in the group. I think we would have got semis. I think Germany would have done this in the end. We were lucky that game against Germany in the groups.
For me, look, my favourite World Cup is 86. It was my first proper World Cup as a kid. And just watching...
Oh, Tarzan's on. When did Cavani come on?
Oh, he came on a while ago. I did say they made the substitution. So Tarzan.
The Korean player headers the ball straight into the Uruguay manager's face. Love it.
I tell you another good player from the past, Michel Platini. He was unreal.
He's corrupt now, isn't he?
He won't do all
Paris
corrupt.
Ladders team.
Yeah.
Oh, well held up. Can they get going? Oh, unlucky.
There's Bentacore. There's Benny. Did you watch that documentary on FIFA, Dave?
Yeah, it was brilliant.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Honestly, it's worse than the Mafia.
It is. It's so funny.
It's worse than the Mafia. You know, we're literally going to give you a whole competition, the whole World Cup for a fee. Honestly, it's madness.
It's like it's like FIFA gave Delaney €5 million to start him taking them to court over Henry. I'd love to know where that 5 million went to. Didn't suddenly go into our football, did it?
I think Zoe said it was Suarez that came off for Cavani.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
spot on. Douglas Talk says 1998 Denmark versus Brazil, the best game of the tournament. Michael Laudrup's last game. Peter M says my favorite World Cup was 1970 with the England-Brazil game and the Italy-Brazil final standing out. Peter Simmons says the game has progressed. Defenders, attackers, and fitness is better. Yeah, it's better than ever before. But then, you know, you've got to question how much better would the game been back then with the players that I've been talking about if they had the fitness levels are now be a whole new standard. Again, it just goes to show what I'm saying. Like the players now, the list of world-class players from back then to now, it's nowhere near. Zoe says 98 for me too. So that was class. Also, the Spain teams of the 0-0s were beautiful football. Do you know what? It bored me a lot. It was all tiki-taka. I don't like the tiki-taka. It's just boring. I know it's about keeping possession now, but you know, like it's just always sideways, backways shit. I don't like it. I do not like it whatsoever. Big up Mia. She says 98 was brilliant as well. And Peter Simmons says Holland have never won the World Cup yet.
No, 3 finals.
They weren't great the other day either, to be honest with you. I was very disappointed with them.
The Dutch team of the 70s, 74 Dutch team was unreal. Honest to God, they were total football is not the word for it. They were just unreal.
I used to love Patrick Kluivert. Remember Patrick Kluivert?
I do, yeah. Johan Cruyff in his prime was as good as anything you'll ever see on a football pitch. I still think Maradona's the greatest player this world's ever seen. I think Messi has to win the World Cup to be above him. But for me,
even if he wins the World Cup, I still wouldn't put him above him.
You know what? I think he's done more. But yeah, I get what you're saying.
Breed, lad.
Yeah.
Maradona could single-handedly go and win a game. Single-handedly.
He dragged the entire nation to a World Cup win.
The whole team. He dragged the whole team to it. Messi, he's a good player and all, but like he needs good players in and around him, whereas Maradona didn't. Maradona's just like, look, just give me the ball and just sit back and watch me. Go get the ball.
That's a stat from that 86 side. The captain of the 78 side won a World Cup winners medal in 86 as well. So that's a stat I found the other day.
Who was that donkey that played that cross? Oh, another shit ball in by Uruguay. God, they've been so bad. So Peter, on his back, some with the long ball over the top for Wang. Wang to chase it. Can he get there? Oh! Made hard work of it there. Fair play to him. 3 of them around. The goalkeeper and 2 defenders nearly collide now with each other.
Peter Rem says the Polish side of the 70s, they were good in the 70s, the Polish team. 3rd in 74 in Germany. I think they beat Brazil in the 4th playoff in 74. So Poland had a good side. But Uruguay, I don't know, haven't won the World Cup since 1950.
That Darwin Núñez can't even pass the ball straight. What's wrong with him? He must be cross-eyed.
Look, I would love an Argentina-Brazil final. I think that would be unreal to have the 2 big South American heavyweights.
So if Argentina turn up first time up.
That's true. Any team I've picked to win the World Cup have lost. Shows how much I know.
It's like Ireland, still waiting for them to turn up at some stage.
Yeah, don't get me started on them.
Fucking been in the doldrums for like 15 years. It's that bad. You know, Luxembourg have caught up with us. It's how bad we've got.
I said to you earlier, Dave, I'd love us to be here, but it's looked like the outside looking in can we come to the party. You know, it's
all right. Look, under Martin O'Neill, you know, we cause problems. We will, once we get to a major tournament, we'll always turn up.
Mm.
You know, we always have done, always turned up at major tournaments. You know, and we always cause an upset as well. It's just getting to them is our bloody problem.
Well, hopefully we'll get the 2028 European Championship. At least we'll qualify for that.
Like, name me a tournament where Ireland haven't caused an upset.
The one in Poland and Uruguay and Ukraine.
Oh, actually, there is one. What was that tournament we went to? The Euros, where we got Spain, Croatia, fucking
Italy,
and some other team. Italy, yeah.
Yeah, it was
we absolutely rolled with the group. That was shocking.
On the track.
I was out by the love for that, thank God.
Yeah.
I could just drink my sorrows away.
Yeah. Do you know what? I miss football from back in the day, Dave. I miss the 80s, 90s football. It was just so different. It was fun to watch.
I just miss the early 2000s.
Yeah. See, I know it's great you and me because I go back further a bit than you. And like the 80s football was just blood and thunder. It was brilliant to watch, especially the World Cups. It was like an excitement thing. I think there's too much football on telly now, and the buzz and the excitement of a tournament coming up, I think it's gone out of people.
It's not even that there's too much football. I mean, you look at most games now, Dermot, it's all the same, bar if City or Liverpool play. You know what I mean? Everything else is the same. It's repetitive. Back, forth, left, right, get it down wide. Oh, can't cross a ball, so I'm going to pass it backwards. Shooting position? No, I'm going to pass it sideways. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all the same shit now. It doesn't matter what game you tune into. You know, no one really has an identity anymore in football, bar the likes of a Man City or a Liverpool. You know, everything else is much more the same, sort of fucking hard to watch, rugged, routine crap.
I love the South Korea players coming on, right? And they're all high-fiving each other, the players coming on. Son's jeering them up, telling them, right, we can do this. You can see Son jeering them up. It's brilliant, though. It's great to watch. And I just hope they get a point from this. And Dark Sun-ji can be very, very proud of his country tonight because they have played absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah, they have to be fair. Douglas Talk says, is it the Irish academies that are bad, Dave, or what is the reason for the Irish mediocrity? Look, there's a number of things to it, my man. First of all, the guy in charge of the FAI, John Delaney, the guy in charge of Irish football, absolutely bled us dry. He was paying for his wedding. He was paying for his daughter's birthday parties. He was paying for absolutely everything, completely bled us dry. There's nothing left in the pot. That's why we're stuck with Stephen Kenny. But also, there's not enough money made available for the Irish League. Until they get that intact and get some sort of decent standard league, you'll never produce the sort of players we were producing. Because when you look at the teams of the early 2000s, the 90s, like the Irish had a very good league in the 70s and the 80s. You know, it was a very competitive league. You had John Giles playing back here and stuff like that. But that's gone. So they need to get the league to be competitive. But look, I was also in the academy systems. And I mean, look, I've made no secret about this. We didn't grow up rich, flush, anything like that, you know, just normal working class family. And like when there's tournaments coming up and they're coming to you saying, well, look, it's nearly £1,000 for you to go to the tournament. It's like, well, I'm sorry, I've got 3 sisters. Where am I going to pull that out from? You know what I mean? I'm a 14-year-old kid, 13-year-old kid. You're trying to put €1,000 on my parents, even though we've already paid £600 to be in this academy to get all the gear for the year and everything else. You know what I mean? It's just like the systems are just an absolute joke. It's an absolute joke. For years, it's been from certain counties because there's reps like, for instance, Waterford. There's a strong Liverpool connection there with Waterford. So they have people in Ireland working for them as scouts. So they'll send players over. They don't really go outside of Waterford. You know what I mean? It's just like the whole thing over here is lazy. Douglas Talk. The whole setup is just absolutely lazy from top to bottom. And it's a shame because Irish football suffered because of it, man.
Can I just add something to that, Dave? Look, you look at the farcical went on with the FAI, with Delaney and all this. And it's such, when Jack Charlton came over, he gave the whole organisation, the whole country a lift for what he'd done. We're qualified for tournaments. And they should have structured the league better than it is now. And you are right, the league is awful over here. It really is. But there isn't the investment, and that has to come from the government. The government have to put money into this.
Dermot, they give the FAI money. If the FAI decide they're going to spend it on a daughter's birthday party,
I know.
a wedding, this, that, and the other, there's nothing more they can do. They're giving the money over. It's the guys in charge. They can't do nothing fucking with it.
No, and that's
they're corrupted. They're using it to live a lifestyle that they just don't have the money to live otherwise.
And that proves that football now is so corrupted, because you look what happened in FIFA. You look what happened with us over here. Delaney bled us dry.
Like, they all get money from FIFA. They all get money from their governments. You know what I mean? Like, it's what, like, when you've got the head of these organizations and they're all corrupt, taking backhanders, this, that, and the other. So is there any wonder John Delaney gets away with it when he looks at all them other representatives like, well, they're selling everything. You know, I'm just going to live off this money and put it down as expenses and all. It's madness. It's madness. But Irish football is the only one suffering from, you know, there's no reason why we shouldn't be in a better position where we are with the league, and there's no reason why we shouldn't be sending a lot more players to England than what we are. And you know, the Irish football authorities will say to you, "Oh well, you know, with the influx of foreign players, this, that, and the other, it makes it harder for Irish players to get abroad." Okay, there's that element to it, but it's easier to get us to go over than any other player from abroad. You know what I mean? And like, you know, Irish like guys have traditionally gone over, being happy in these, this, that, and the other. And it's kind of like there's no reason why we shouldn't be having players going over there left, right, and centre for trials with the close proximity. Ireland have always produced good players, you know. But
you know,
the standard has gone up. Even though people say, okay, the standard's gone up, you're competing with players from all across the world. Okay, fair enough. But then that just goes to show you've got to put better networks in place, better coaches in place, this, that, and the other. And they don't want to do it. So
it's a shame, because we've got the best fans in the world, and it's us that are suffering at the end of the day. It's the fans and the younger generation that are coming up through the system are not being well looked after. You were in the academy yourself, Dave. You have the experience of what it's like. And to put that on a family, a working class family, well, you have to give us another €1,000. It's ridiculous. It's where the association, the government should be better. There should be better protocols put in place to look after these families, look after these younger players coming through the system. Because if you look all through FIFA, our association as well, corruption is right through football. There has to be.
Right, keen to tell our officials, hang on a minute. No, you sit in the back of the plane. We sit in the front with all the comfy seats and everything else. Took Roy Keane to stand up and say that. Before that, they were all sitting in the front in a private section while the squad was stuck in on Ryanair seats like this. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's honestly, the self-entitlement of the people in charge is just ridiculous. Look, Ireland's one of the most corrupt countries in the world as well. Like, there's a series I tell people about. It's called Reeling in the Years, where they go through every decade, every Sunday. There's at least 3 or 4 scandals every decade of corruption, money, bribery. You know what I mean? It's everyone in a position of power is at it.
It goes from politics to football to business. It goes to the banking system. Everything. You are right, Dave. You hit the nail on the head, and it's sad because if we did it right, we could have probably one of the best leagues in Europe if we did it right. If we did it properly.
We've just completely regressed, you know. We went from Mick McCarthy to Steve Staunton to Brian Kerr, you know, Trapattoni, one of the most offensive guys in the world. You know what I mean? You know, then, you know, there was questions over, okay, well, the appointments are shit. Let's get 2 people in place to know what they're doing. So they had to go and pay for Roy Keane and Martin O'Neill, even though they knew there wasn't enough money, but they couldn't come out and say it because people were like, hang on, where's the money gone? You know? It's just a joke. Cavani, though, holds it up. Cavani's gone out wide. Oh, why doesn't he play outside him? He has a shot. It's gone wide. Darwin Núñez with the effort, and it's gone wide. He should have played the other guy in running on outside him. It's greedy, that. Very greedy.
81 minutes, Dave, for him to do something in the game. 81 minutes. It's shocking.
The old poacher Cavani trying to get his head on it.
I love the South Korean fella banging the drum with a football hat on. It's brilliant.
Dead right.
Oh, Lord. I must admit, I was they're very respectful, aren't they? The South Korean fans, the Uruguayan fans are just sitting there with their heads in their hands, going, "Oh, Jesus!"
Of course, if I was a Uruguayan fan, I'd be going mad. We're expected to win this. If you don't win this, you're in trouble. Peter M says, "Would Roy Keane ever contemplate becoming IFA president?" Honestly, They'd
Please.
never allowed a guy to get in a position to be able to do it in the first place, because
Oh dear.
not only will he expose what's gone on previous, he'll completely take away the lavish lifestyle that comes with it, this, that, and the other. They just will not let him get in a position to be able to do it, Peter M. It will not happen.
I vote for him to become Taoiseach, Roy Keane. If he ever stood for Taoiseach, I vote for him.
Because he tells the truth, they'll never put him in a position to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Never.
Do you think people are forgiven what he did in 2002, Dave? Do you think it's always in the back of their minds?
I think the majority of the public were with him, Dermot. At the end of the day, he was angry because it's like, okay, we've got to a World Cup. We got out of a group that contained Netherlands and Portugal where nobody gave us a hope. And it's kind of like he was at the peak of his powers. He was the best midfielder in the world at the time. You had Ian Hart, you had Niall Quinn, Robbie Keane, Damien Duff, Matt Holland, who was playing in the Premier League, Mark Kingsley, Lee Carsley, Cunningham, Dunn. You know what I mean? You squad of full Premier League players all playing well for their clubs. And it's kind of like Jason McAteer, another one, he said it. He said, look, we were going there plotting our way to the final because we truly believed we were good enough. We could take on anybody, you know? And then Roy Keane gets there. They're on an island where there's no training pitch, right? And they brought them out to have points before the tournament, you know? But Roy Keane's your captain. What makes anybody think that's going to be a good idea? You know? And it's like, I think he would have accepted it if there was a decent training pitch. That didn't happen. There was no training gear for 2 days because that didn't arrive. Like, the whole thing was a farce. Of course he's going to go mad. He's like, look, this is World Cup. I'm at the peak of my powers, and this it's happening.
I think also...
It's cowboyish. Like, that's why he was going mad. He's like, it's just run by cowboys, amateurs. Amateurs playing at a professional level.
I mean, back when that happened, I was surprised at the start he left, and I think he left the country down. But the more you look into it, the more you read into it, you do start to believe, hang on, he had a point here. And I think Mick McCarthy also has.
When he went in, Dermot, he gave them everything he was getting at United, right? Which you think, okay, the FAI take it on board. You know, they're winning everything, taking on board what they're doing. So he asked them about, you know, proper diets and nutrition for the players. The next game he turns up, they hand them out cheese sandwiches before they're due to go out and play.
I know. I didn't read that.
Of course he's going to go mad. He's like, okay, this is the FAI. They can't afford pasta. They're giving us cheese fucking sandwiches. Reminds me back in my academy days. You know, when I was over in Nottingham Forest, you know, handed a cheese sandwich with a packet of crisps and a bar. You know, there's your lunch, guys. It's kind of like, what's the nutrition here?
I would love him to be Ireland's manager, to be fair. I know that he never would, but I'd love him to. I would love him to.
I've always wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
This game is so shit. I can't wait for it to end. I really can't.
Can I ask you a question? I want to get your point on this, Dave. What have you reckoned to all the extra time that's been played at end of matches? What's your thought?
I'm not sitting here through it today. I'm telling you that now. If it's 14 minutes, I'm not doing it. It's like they've already served us up 90 minutes of shit.
Oh,
and now you want me to watch another 14. Stop with the
I
pain.
tell you what, I've enjoyed the conversation we've had, Dave, to be fair. I've really, in fact, enjoyed the conversation.
You just haven't even talked about the game because there's nothing to talk about. It's just side to side, backwards, getting into the final third, give away a shit pass, recycle it. Shit. It's just a shit game. It's the worst game I've watched this World Cup. Even Ecuador and fucking Qatar was better than this.
Yeah, that was fucking shock.
That referee, Uruguay, Cavani, he's got it held up. He's looking for players off him. There's absolutely nobody. And he goes all the way back to the centre back.
The referee last night for the game was the referee that blew 4 minutes early last night in the African nations last night. It was so funny. But anyway, here's Uruguay on the attack. They're just playing it round, to be fair. It's such a boring game. It really is awful.
Ribsy85 says first half was all right. This is shite, though. Yeah. I didn't even think the first half was good either, to be honest with you. Ribsy, I just thought, look, your Korea set up 11 all men behind in their half. Uruguay just passed it across the back three. It's just ridiculous. But look, me and Jack will be back here watching Brazil later on. Hopefully a lot more of an exciting game. I really hope so. I like watching Brazil's at World Cup. I'm just not sure this team has the flair of teams gone by that I've enjoyed watching.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, Dave. I think they will. I think they get a job done. Oh, is Uruguay? Oh, it's gone out for a goal kick.
So bad.
It is.
Sitting on a wooden chair as well. My arse is killing me.
I know how you feel.
I need to get
dear.
another chair. Oh, it's killing my back and everything. Please don't give me 14 minutes. Give me like a minute, please.
God, look, if there is a God, to make Brazil win this World Cup, and they'll be the sixth. They will be the 6th-time world champions. So it'll be breaking another record.
I tell you now, they ain't winning this, lad. I know me. I picked them as dark horses now, but I'll tell you, I'll be very unimpressed with them, lad. They ain't winning this World Cup. Nowhere near it.
Who have you been impressed with, Dave? If you could pick one team you've seen, who have you been impressed with so far in this World Cup? You're thinking, do you know what? They can go pretty far.
England, actually. Want me to be brutally honest?
Yeah,
England.
I know. You can't go. Yeah, I have to agree with you.
They're the only team I've been impressed with. And it kills me to say it. Absolutely kills me to say it. But they're the only team that they've dispatched the sort of opening team that they've got a weaker team in the manner that they should be doing it. You know, it's that simple. For me, it kills me to say it, but I've been most impressed with them. Them, maybe France, they turned up against Australia in the end. They're the only 2 teams I've been impressed with so far. I think the rest have been shit. Spain, I know people are going to say Spain, don't rate them, think they're overrated. I just want this game to be over. It's so bad. Honestly, it's like watching non-league football.
Look, I thought Spain, but they're only playing Costa Rica, so Costa Rica are not really a strong side. Look, I have to agree with you, Dave. England.
Oh, Korea on the attack here, though.
What a tackle.
That's a free kick. That referee's given Korea absolutely nothing.
I do you know what? Fair play to South Korea. Absolutely. If to get a point out of this, rich.
I hope they make a winner. I really do. It should make a show these bigger teams for not playing the way they should. You know, even if they go 1-up, they get comfortable, start knocking it side to side and beating dickheads. You know, instead of going for it the way they should be going for it, dispatching teams the way they should be. You know? So I'm delighted a lot of these people get caught. Good effort. Was that safe off the post?
Yeah, hit the post.
Valverde with a long-range effort wallops the post.
Somebody's got to sign up South Korea saying we are the Red Devils. I love that. Oh, Lord.
Jeez, he caught that.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was flying in.
Sonny's been pretty quiet this game.
Caden says he's interested in Brazil tonight. Same here, my man. I want to see what they're like.
Oh.
Vince Vega says, come on, you Sonny.
Oh, Sonny.
Ramsey says, England, Iran was a mess, though. But you know what, though? They made Iran look like a mess. Like, there's no reason, being honest, there's no reason why Argentina shouldn't have done that to Saudi Arabia. Their defense was shit, Saudi Arabia, I thought. You know, it was a high line. They could have played in behind them every single time. But a lot of the times, rather than playing it forward, they wanted to play it left and right. Their own doing, you know?
I don't know.
Sonny! Oh! Just wide.
7 minutes, Dave.
The reason why you're seeing upsets and shocks in this tournament is because big teams are not dispatching teams, the littler nations, the way they should be, the way they have done in years gone by. That's why. You know, whereas in fairness to England, they've done it. Like, usually they don't. That's the thing. Usually they struggle against these sort of teams. But they didn't. They turned up, dispatched them 6-1.
England normally don't start tournaments well.
Germany should be beating Japan. Should be beating them 3-4-0.
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
Argentina should have beaten Saudi Arabia all day long. They didn't do it.
Yeah, there's just no excuses to losing to Saudi Arabia. Even Ireland would beat Saudi Arabia.
We did. Oh dear. I tell you, I hope Dark Sonji's impressed with this. Was what a well-deserved point. South Korea.
I would actually say Iran have a better squad to pick from than Saudi Arabia too. 7 minutes. Where are they pulling that from? Just blow it up. It's shit.
I mean, the other night it was 14 minutes or something ridiculous.
Oh, I couldn't believe it. Mia says, David, you carry on saying good things about England. Dermot's head will fall off, Lord. I'm just being honest. I'm being truthful. You know, they're the only team that's turned up so far, done the job that they should have done. It was the least team I was expecting to do it as well, if I'm being brutally honest. Caden says, I noticed Argentina aren't blessed with real speed. If that was England, against Saudi, it would have been 5-0, lad. Do you know what? You don't even need speed against Saudi Arabia. It's just the football intelligence. But this is what I keep saying. Players keep taking the safe option. There's no reason why one of them, like you've got Di Maria, you've got Messi, there's other players in there as well. Just get on the ball, run at 2 or 3 of them, skin them. You know what I mean? It's not hard to do. And then Ribsy says it probably helps the English play down their chances for a change and the lower interest in the cap too. They usually work themselves up. So, believe me, it's all out the bag now, Ribsy. It's all out now. They all believe they can win it. But look, rightly so. I would too if I'm looking at the competition so far. So we're the only team that turned up, the only team that's shown creativity, flair, skill, pace, the willingness to keep going forward rather than knocking around sideways. And that's why they end up beating them the way they did, because they wanted to go forward every opportunity. That's why. It's the simple fact of the matter.
It was only Iran. Look, see how they do against USA and Wales. It was only Iran. That's all I'm going to say.
Against these smaller teams, every manager will tell you, if you don't dispatch them early, the most dangerous they are is when they're still in the game. You've got to give them nothing to play for. You've got to get the game over and done with early. When you're playing against smaller teams, it's every manager's team talk. Get the game done over early. Don't make this into a dogfight when it doesn't need to be. But these bigger nations, they don't want to be there. They're just going through the motions. They'll all say, the World Cup, but they don't. They don't. Actions on the pitch prove it. I'm sick of all these players coming out saying, I want to do this, I'm doing this, and they just never do any of it. And the actions on the pitch just don't show, I'm more of a show me in actions rather than tell me in words, and they just don't. Like someone like Harry Winks. He'd have to do better. And then he comes out the next game and he's still a 5-yard passing twat rather than being a 15-yard passer. You know what I mean? It's just little shit like that. It just winds me up. You can speak a good game, but actually deliver.
It all depends. England always never do well at the end of season. So
most famous for it. No, look, I don't see what all the fuss is about when it comes to me. I think I'm doing better than what people say. But I strive to get better. And then he knocks a ball down into Mo Salah's path. It's honestly, it baffles me. All these talks. People fall for the talk. But he said he wants to do better. I'm like, yeah, he said it, but he's not. He's doing worse. Difference, actions,
Yeah. I'm sorry, Mia. I'm sorry, Mia. I cannot go away from my nationality. I do apologize. I will say if they play well, they do play well, but I'm trying to be realistic. It is only Iran, but I know what you're saying, Mia. So don't worry. I know you're joking.
Ribsy says, "I love how you weren't Harry Winks into that. You're traumatized." I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of it, man. I'm sick of all people falling for. But they said this. I'm like, yeah, I know, but. If he said he was going to jump off a bridge, would you follow him? It's kind of like, I just want actions. Like, I don't want someone in the paper going, yeah, I'm trying my best to improve, and then producing another numpty mistake. The same, 3 days later. How many times have we seen it with Hugo Lloris in the press? We're going to do better. Next game we come out, we do worse than what we did the week before. It's just like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all these wordy words. Too many players now, through social media, the press, because they all fawn over them, because fans want more and more and more. They all say shit and never deliver on it, and it's just too much. It's just too much. Show me in actions. I'm an action man. I'm not one of these mouty guys. I'm an action man. Show me in actions.
Action.
Even on the pitch, I was like that. If someone says, I'm going to play well today, in the first 2 minutes, he's playing like a donkey, I'd say, hey, donkey, thought you were going to play well today. Buck up, boyo. It's just, I can't stand it. Won't say one thing and then do a complete other. I'm going to play well today. I'm sorry for costing you 2 goals.
Oh, Dave, you're so funny. Oh, Lord. Ali got a minute left anyway, so we're nearly out of this torture chamber.
Yeah, Ribsy, he is. Didn't I tell everybody? I told everybody. No matter how good you think this guy is or how much of a player in there you try to see, doesn't matter. No other player, no other people in world football see it. Gone out to Sampdoria, took one training session. They're like, look, you're useless. For your sake, feign an injury so we can send you back because you're just utterly crap. You know, everyone said, "Oh, we're going to get 20, 25 million just because Spurs fans don't appreciate what Winks he brings. Doesn't mean others in football will or won't." And it's kind of like, well, they didn't, did they? Just blow this up. Put me out my misery. I need to go and have a bath or something. Go over to my ma's, get her to run me a bath. Need to relax after this.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. It's shocking, this game. It's been the most shocking game of the world.
Actually, do you know what I'll do? I'll go and get a strawberry surprise smoothie. That'll cheer me up. Be back in time for 7 o'clock, all fruited and boosted.
But I felt we discussed a few good, you know, we've got a few things out there, Dave, and we've got our points on a few things. It's been, apart from that, it's been a good conversation.
I'll be honest, lad, I was having a whale of a time watching the football, and now this game is really riled. Like the first game I choose to come back for, I get to watch. I'm treated to this.
Yeah, it's. I think it's not.
It's not even a spectacle. If I paid and I went out to watch this, I'd go mad, especially as a Uruguay fan. South Korea fan, I'd be buzzing right now. I'm like, nice. Yeah. You know, beat Ghana now next game. Happy days, right with the group.
Yeah. That
Uruguay,
is, Dave, 0-0. It's just finished.
Game over. Thank fuck for that. That was one of the most boring games of football I've ever watched. Dermo, any final messages before we head off? Because myself and Jacko will be back here at 7 tonight for the Brazil game.
I look, boring match, but I've enjoyed the company. I've enjoyed the banter we've had in the chat, and thanks for having me on, Dave. And again, I apologise about the internet. I'm very sorry.
You're all good.
Sorry, but I've enjoyed it though. And if you want to hear from us, we're over on THFC Till I Die. Just get over there and listen to us and talk Spurs and that. We'll be back probably after the World Cup. But yeah, I've enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the conversations we had. It was good.
Thanks for joining me, my man. I really appreciate it. As Nick says here, Brazil and Serbia will be more interesting, Davo. Yeah. Nico, I hope so, man. I really hope so. If I sit here and it's another 0-0 boring twat of a game, I'll go absolutely ballistic. You know, I will. But there's some good players later on. Vlahovic, Jovetic, Mitrovic, my guy, Milinkovic, Savic. You know, you've got Neymar. Let's see what Neymar turns up. You know, Vinicius Jr., there's a lot of good players on show later on. But look, we're going to end this off here now. I'm going off to get a strawberry smoothie just to cheer myself up. You guys go and have some tea and dinner, and we'll see you all back here later on for myself and Jack for doing the Brazil v Serbia game. As always, come on, you Spurs. In content we trust. And next week we'll be back with Spurs content too.
Come on, you Brazil.
Just do better, please. Just do something tonight.
Yeah. 1-0.
There we go.